Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Wellness for Nurses webinar. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'll start with introducing myself. On the next slide, I'll share a little bit about myself. So my name's Tiffany Martin, and my big passion in life is holistic living. From a very little girl, I have been very much into nature and natural healing, and I wanted to take care of people, and that just kind of steered me into into the direction that I am in today as a professional. By trade, I am a registered nurse. I've been working in a hospital for over 8 years, actually 9 years now. And I work in a recovery room, so I take care of patients after surgery. I am also a certified yoga teacher. Again, that passion for holistic living just kind of drew me into that modality. And more recently, I am a network marketing professional, and it is a beautiful kind of just mesh of my passions for holistic living, taking care of others, and being available to my family. So we'll talk just a little bit about network marketing at the end of this presentation. Personally, I am a wife. I've been married for 8 years, and I am a mother of two. I have a 9-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. We live in the Philadelphia area. I was born and raised in Philly, still work in Philly, but we actually live in Delaware now, which is just about like 30 minutes south of Philadelphia. So enough about me. We're going to move into the purpose of this webinar. So I bet you're all curious of, what are we going to talk about today? Well, the purpose of this webinar is to give you all information for wellness for nurses. We're going to talk about information about the benefits of medicinal mushrooms, stress management solutions, and then the opportunity to partner with myself and the team that I work with in this company called Outfang. So I'm sure just that previous slide mentioning medicinal mushrooms, most of you are probably like, what? Like, I've never heard of medicinal mushrooms. And have no fear. I knew nothing about medicinal mushrooms, even with my big passion for holistic living. I'm one that like researches stuff like for fun. Like I love research. I love learning, especially anything that relates to holistic living and healthy lifestyle and diet and nutrition and alternative therapies, things like that. But I had no idea what medicinal mushrooms were. I didn't learn about them until I was introduced to the company that we're going to talk about by another nurse that I met online. So medicinal mushrooms are actually like very, very common and have been used for thousands of years in traditional Chinese medicine, but they are not known to us over here in the West. They are just starting to be known to us. So that's why if you've never heard of them, that's why. It's because it's new for us over here in the United States. So medicinal mushrooms, they are food. They are considered a superfood. Some medicinal mushrooms you can buy in a supermarket, but the ones that have the healing benefits and the most compounds that we can use to transform our lives and our health are actually mushrooms that have to be processed in a certain manner to get the nutrients out that we need. Medicinal mushrooms are non-toxic. They are not habit forming, so they're not going to require a prescription from your doctor. They are not something that's in pharmacies right now. What do they do? Well, they aid in the normalization of your body. It helps to balance our body chemistries. It helps us to deal with stress. It increases our body's ability to cope with stress. And as nurses, I'm sure you can all identify with the many physical, emotional, and environmental stressors we encounter. I mean, for one, the environment of a hospital, most nurses work in a hospital. And if you're not in the hospital, please don't feel excluded. I'm not excluding you, but no matter where you work as a nurse, your very environment is a stressor because we are encountering other people's stress, other people's illnesses and issues, and that environment alone is a stressor to us, no matter if you're working in the hospital, doctor's office, home care, whenever you're dealing with someone else in their environment, that can be a stressor on you. And then there's also emotional stress, goes right along with our environmental stress as nurses because we witness suffering. every day in our careers. We witness people hurting and dying and sick, and so many different emotions rise up within us, and they are a stressor on us. So these medicinal mushrooms are something that can help us nurses deal with the many the many stressors we deal with just by way of our profession. We're not even going to get into our lives outside of nursing. Medicinal mushrooms also work in a synergistic manner, meaning that they work with your body. They help to fight off illness before it sets in, versus our modern medicine where they treat the symptoms, where you don't reach for a drug until you've already got symptoms, like the disease has already manifested. Medicinal mushrooms work at the source of what is going on with you, and in many cases can fight off those issues before it fully manifests in your body. The mushrooms, they also work not only when you take them, but they kind of work for a sustained period of time, and over that time they become increasingly more effective. Kind of think of it as like in the area I work, I often give medicines to stabilize blood pressure, like phenylephrine. Was just given that yesterday. And if you're familiar with the drug, like we often give like a bolus before we start the drip. So you give that big dose of your drug, and then you put your patient on a drip, and they can kind of like maintain on that drip. They don't need that big bolus. Well, medicinal mushrooms work in the same way. Initially you may need like a big bolus to really bring about some changes in your body, but over time, as you're on the mushrooms, you actually need less to get the same results. So what are some of the health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Well, they make your immune system smarter. They work to, again, they work with your immune system. They do not like overstimulate it or anything like that. I like to identify this as that they're like a light switch, like you're going into a dark room and you're looking for, your keys or whatever it is you need to like get something done, but this room is dark, and so you can't find what you need. You're not going to be able to do your job without your whatever it is you're looking for, because the room is dark. You don't know what to do. You can't find it. Well, medicinal mushrooms, like they turn on like a light switch in the body, if you will. They help your body see, what is gone wrong, or where an area needs help. They kind of shed light on those issues and help your body wake up to do what it needs to do to take care of itself. Medicinal mushrooms are also the most potent source of beta-glucan polysaccharides, or biological response modifiers. If you're not familiar with that term, you could look it up in your own time, and you'll find that scientists all over the world are actually researching these immunomodulators. They are the most studied immunomodulator on the earth. And you'll also find that there are lots of modern doctors now, or classically trained doctors now, that are starting to learn about these immunomodulators, the beta-glucan polysaccharides, and they're actually using them and recommending their use. So medicinal mushrooms, this is something that you don't know much about it now, you don't hear much about it now, but in the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be just like essential oils and fish oil and yoga, like it's going to blow up, and everyone's going to be talking about medicinal mushrooms, because the word is finally starting to get out. And especially for us as nurses, like I remember a couple years ago, was it last year? I think my first year in the company, I had a patient and we're going over his medications, and I happened to look at his list, and on his list was, I think it was lion mane mushroom, one of the medicinal mushrooms, and I recognized it because it's in one of our products. And so I'm like, oh my goodness, like how crazy is this that I see a patient for the first time on medicinal mushrooms when I had known nothing about it until, I joined the company like a few months before. So I asked him about the mushroom, and this was someone who had cancer, and he had been in remission for years. And he sees a naturopath, and he says this naturopath recommended these medicinal mushroom. I believe they were capsules, or it may have been like a tincture. I forget. But he said his naturopath recommended that formula, and he had been taking it for years, and it's kept he didn't do like chemo or anything like that. He did surgery, but he didn't do any drug therapy or radiation or anything like that. And here he's taken this mushroom supplement, medicinal mushroom supplement for years, and he has been in remission, and he gave the credit to the medicinal mushrooms. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool. Like I now have that memory of my first patient that was on this supplement. And as a nurse, like I can see it in the next 5 to 10 years, just as like a lot of our patients are on fish oil, and before they're going into surgery and things, we're telling them to stop their fish oil and things like that. It's going to be like medicinal mushrooms. They're going to be a household name and a name in healthcare because of what they can do. So that brings us to exactly what they can do. So there are hundreds of medicinal mushrooms, and for the sake of time, I can't get into all of them. I would love to, because they are an amazing subset of superfoods. We are going to spend our time talking about the Lenji mushroom, because this is the mushroom that has 400 active compounds, and this is the mushroom that has been studied. It is the most researched herb in the world. I mean, if you Google Lenji mushroom and cancer, diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, stress, whatever, you will find like scholarly articles on Lenji, on medicinal mushrooms, which as a nurse and as a research geek and as someone who's passionate about holistic living, this is what attracted me to this company, and this is what has kept my interest and passion for this company and these products. So Lenji, we're going to discuss the three compounds, because again, 400 active compounds, that would take, quite some time. So some of these terms as nurses, I'm sure you can identify with. Polysaccharides, they are in the Lenji mushroom, and they help to stimulate the immune system. Ganoderic acid, that helps to balance the hormones, protect the liver, and it has the anti-inflammatory and anti-tumor properties. So just on the other side, I talked a little bit about my patient who was taking, the mushroom recommended by his naturopath. It's because of these anti-inflammatory and anti-tumor properties that I truly believe that's, why he was, getting the results he was getting, because of the ganoderic acid in this mushroom, all without no side effects. I should have mentioned that on the other slide. Like, this is something that is so powerful and can help your body in so many ways. But guess what? There are no side effects. This is not like, a drug, a synthetic drug where you got to deal with side effects. There are no side effects to this product. And we've got tons of testimonials to attest to that fact. The third compound we'll talk about is adenosine. And again, as a nurse, I'm sure you'll recognize that term. But adenosine is what increases wound healing speed. It's neuroprotective for our nerves and our brain, and a coronary vasodilator. So, as we're talking all about Lenji and mushrooms, you're probably wondering, like, when are we going to talk about nurses? Like, this is wellness for nurses. So, to start, we're going to talk about the common nurse problems, because there are many. And excuse me, as nurses, we can all identify with these. Nurses are stressed. I mean, again, in the very beginning, we talked about how we deal with environmental stress, emotional stress, physical stress. Nurses are stressed. We are also sleep deprived. We work these crazy off shift hours and weekends, holidays, nights. Some nurses work, 1 week they're on day shift and the next week they're on night shift. Like, it's crazy. We're also overcommitted. Not just we serve as nurses, but we're also, constantly of service in our other various roles, wife, mom, son, friend, leader, business owner, whatever it is you do outside of your career as a nurse. I'm sure it's something where you are, giving of yourself to others, because that's kind of what we do as human beings first, and then as nurses as well. Nurses also lack self-care or self-restoration. Again, because of all these other problems, we're constantly of service. We're overcommitted. We're sleep deprived. We put ourselves last. So we often don't take enough time to take care of ourselves. And then on-the-go eating habits. There's been, I believe I don't know if it's still going on, but there was a class action lawsuit of nurses not getting meal breaks because nurses were not eating. We had these on-the-go on-the-go eating habits where we're not eating. We're like, scoffing down, a sandwich or a candy or something at the nurse's station. So those are just some of the many nurse problems that we endure. So what do we do about these problems? And what is this whole Wellness for Nurses webinar about? Well, I'm going to present to you a product line that can help us as nurses, that has helped me as a nurse and other nurses I work with. So Alphase health products, they are something that you will feel a difference in. You'll receive better sleep quality. They help you to feel refreshed and rejuvenated. There's a product line that promotes energy, balanced energy, and vitality. So how do we get these products? Well, Alphase, not just considering taking nurses into consideration, because I truly believe that this line was designed for nurses, but Alphase has taken all the benefits and nutrition of medicinal mushrooms and packaged them in products that nurses use every day. Like most nurses, most Americans already take a nutritional supplement. So you're not changing a habit, you're not changing a behavior, you're just giving yourself a better option. Same with coffee intake. Coffee is actually the second most consumed beverage next to water. I mean, when you walk into any nurse's station, how many cups of coffee do you see sitting around? And just walking in a hospital, you see patients and family members, and everyone's walking around with a cup of coffee. Everyone loves their coffee. And what an amazing thing to do, to take these mushrooms that can help us with so many things, with stress and high blood pressure and cancer and diabetes and all these different things that these mushrooms have been researched and known to do, into something you do anyway. Like, it's genius. And then tea. Tea is another highly consumed beverage, and it has the same, medicinal mushrooms in it as the coffee. So we'll start out with the capsule formulas. They are marketed in a beautiful way, because right on the bottles they have the organ that they support, or the issue that they can help you with. The two bottles in blue are Revitalize. They are for your kidney and reproductive system. There's two of them, because there's one for women and one for men, because we have different reproductive systems. But Revitalize is made to support your kidneys, help you eliminate toxins, revitalize your kidneys. It supports healthy sexual potency. It supports reproductive health and promotes energy and vitality. And then we have Rejuvenate, which is for your heart. This promotes rest and rejuvenation, helps support healthy blood pressure and cholesterol levels. Something, for our hearts, our cardiovascular system. Because as nurses, we put a lot of heart into what we do. Our hearts need that rejuvenation daily, if you will. Nourish is for your lungs. This is going to help with deep breathing, to help, breathe in fresh oxygen and eliminate that stale oxygen that our body doesn't need, because we know as nurses that our cells need, oxygen to thrive and to heal. So this is something that helps us with that. Then there's Cleanse Your Liver. It's for your liver. It works to detoxify your body, to detoxify your liver and your gallbladder. It is something that you can take to promote a healthy liver detox, healthy detox system, where you're not, going without. Then there is Soothe. Soothe is for your stomach. It helps to regulate your not regulate, but it helps support your digestion, to give you healthy digestion and healthy immune system function. And then on the next slide, we'll talk about Balance and Calm, because these are two supplements that are not organ specific, but they do provide overall health for our body. So these are, my business partner called these the multi-mushroom, because they just kind of help everything. So folks like, that are healthy, that don't have a specific issue with a specific organ, this is a good place to start. Balance is infused with the medicinal mushrooms. It helps to support overall health, soothes your nerves, it helps your digestive health and immunity, and supports healthy liver function. Calm Your Mind is something that I wish I could give out to all nurses, because just the environment that we work in, it's not a very calm environment. Calm has one medicinal. It has a Linji mushroom in it, and it helps to improve your immunity, improve sleep, relaxes your body and mind, and healthy brain function and focus. So now we're going to move into the beverage line. We'll start with the coffee because, again, I mean, just walk through any hospital. Take notes, if you will. Like your next shift, just take a look around at how many people you see drinking coffee, because sometimes we take it for granted because we see it all the time. But I can guarantee, like probably within, your first 5-10 minutes in the hospital, you can see at least 5 people with a cup of coffee. So this coffee is a rich black coffee. It's 50% coffee and 50% medicinal mushrooms. And the number one thing we get asked is, does it taste like coffee? And yes, it does. It does not taste like mushrooms. It's something that you have to experience yourself to believe. This coffee comes in little instant packets, so you can take it wherever you go. I keep a good supply in my bag, and I take them to work, and you add it to cold hot water or hot water, add your cream and sugar, and you go on about your day. And you get all the benefits we talked about of the Linji mushroom right into that coffee. So again, you're not adding something on. You're just giving yourself a healthier option to something you do anyway. Then there is the tea. Again, tea is another highly consumed beverage. The tea is loaded with medicinal mushrooms. It's actually 85% medicinal mushrooms and 15% tea. So this is highly nutritious regarding the medicinal mushroom content. And the cool thing about this tea, well, one of the cool things about this tea is that it has one tea bag will make you a quart of tea. So this is something that you can share with your fellow coworkers, your nurses on the unit. When you have your little work parties and things, you can brew this cup of tea and share it with several coworkers. So you're giving your fellow nurse something that she would drink anyway, but this is something that's going to nourish the body. It has all the properties of the medicinal mushrooms we talked about. It gives you a balance of, like this energy and calmness. It helps support your digestion and vitality. And you can add anything to it. It does taste like tea. And again, one tea bag makes a whole quart of tea. So this is something that you can share easily with others. G-Cell is another like supplement product. It actually comes in powdered form. It's made of Linji spores and cordyceps. This is one of our latest product, or one of our newest premium products. It was released in September 2015. But G-Cell is like good for anything. I mean, all the benefits are listed here on the slide. It helps the heart and the liver, the kidneys. It enhances physical fitness. It improves blood circulation and promotes cellular oxygenation. It even helps promote a healthy complexion. So I mean, you're not only taking something that's going to help your internal organs and all that, but if you're someone that may had issues with skin or anything like this, is going to help promote a healthy complexion because you're helping your body from the inside out. We'll now move on to our signature bedding line, or our external support line, because Alfie recognizes that yes, most people drink coffee and tea and take supplements, but some people don't do these things. Well, there's still something for those of us who don't, who don't wish to take those kind of products. So there's this bedding line. Well, not bedding line, it's called a synergy line, excuse me. We'll start out with the gem soles. These are little inserts you can put into your shoes. I wear them every day as a nurse. I will not work a shift without them, and I actually can't remember like how I felt before I started wearing them. I do remember I had sciatica, and I would get like burning knees when I would, because I'm on my feet for 12 hours. I cannot remember the last time I left a shift feeling like that since I've had these. These gem soles, they actually work on the reflexology and acupuncture points on your feet. They help to add comfort, to support overall vitality. They address discomfort in your bones and your joints. And they can also be like, you don't have to put them in your shoes only. You can put them anywhere you're having an issue, and they'll give you the same support and comfort. The sleep mask, this is amazing. As nurses, again, we have that crazy sleep deprived schedule. We don't get enough restorative rest. And this sleep mask is made of, the outside is made of bamboo charcoal and chitin fibers. They emit negative ions, and far infrared technology is this magnet technology. And what this sleep mask is able to do, because of those properties, is able to put us into REM sleep, that deep restorative sleep. So we wake feeling, rested and rejuvenated. And that cover is washable, so you can take it off and you can wash it. And finally, the bedding. There is a whole functional bedding line. So, everyone sleeps. So this is something that, again, you're not changing your habits. You're just giving yourself a better option. We have tons of testimonials on this bedding line. Folks that have issues for years with sleep are able to get 6 to 7 hours of sleep a night when they weren't even able to get 2. This functional bedding set is made of those bamboo charcoal fibers and the chitin fibers. It promotes circulation, it regulates humidity, absorbs moisture, reflects far infrared, and it's antibacterial, anti-mite, anti-mold, and it's actually been tested to last for up to 1,000 washes. So this is something that you can use over and over without any wear and tear. I've had mine for almost 2 years now, and it's still soft. And that's the other thing, it's so soft, and it's just beautiful. You can take it anywhere you go. I take my pillowcase when I travel, or the flat sheet, because I've just gotten so used to sleeping in this soft sheet that just gives me the best sleep that I don't want to go without it. So I do travel with my sheet. And again, we've got tons of testimonials, so I'd love to share more about what these products are doing for people. But again, for the sake of time, we can't do that in this webinar. So that brings us to the end of the webinar. And I just want to touch a little bit on what I presented in the beginning about being a part of the solution or opportunity to partner. So what does it mean to partner with us in this company? Well, we work with a very diverse group of professionals: nurses, chiropractors, naturopaths, accountants, teachers, yoga teachers, everyone across the board. And what we do is we present webinars like this. We share our products. We just get the word out about these medicinal mushrooms and what they're doing for people. And we do it through, formats that are easy for people to learn, like this webinar here. And then we are compensated in 13 different ways, and we earn incentive trips. So we get to kind of work and travel with, people who have the same passion and energy and the same goals. And, if you're interested in being a part of the solution, a part of helping people find solutions for stress management, then I invite you to get in touch with the person that invited you onto this webinar. They would, be more than happy to share information with you and answer your questions. So thank you all for tuning in this afternoon, taking a little time out to learn about Alfé and medicinal mushrooms and what we can do to help us as nurses, wellness for nurses. So again, if you've got any questions, concerns, and want more information, go ahead and reach out to the person that invited you onto this webinar. All righty, take care, bye.